Go ahead and call this meeting
Recording in
to
progress.
order. And for all those who can, please rise for the Pledge of Allegiance. I believe the flag is in the corner. And Mr. Bishop, will you lead us to the pledge?
Sure. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Okay, we don't have Brittany tonight? No? That's okay. I'll go ahead and handle the roll call then. Mr. Bishop.
Here.
Mr. Stroud.
Here.
Mr. Boyle.
Here.
Mr. Esco is excused. Town Manager Hutchinson.
Here.
And Chair Joe Diver here. Great. Next are the minutes for March 14th, 2022. If I could have a motion?
Sure. I make a motion to accept the minutes from 3/14/22 as presented.
Second.
Motion is second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. Next is for March 21st, 2022.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from 3/21/22 as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Abstentions? Opposed? Motion carries. Minutes of March 28th, 2022.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from 3/28/22 as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next is April 11th, 2022.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from 4/11/22 as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Next is April 25th, 2022.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from 4/25/22 as presented.
Second.
Motion second. Any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. I have a second one for April 25th,
It was a
22.
pre-town meeting.
No, pre-town meeting, yep. Is there a motion?
Yes. I make a motion to accept the minutes from 4/25/22, the pre-town meeting as presented.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. And finally, June 2nd, 2022.
I make a motion to accept the minutes from 6/2/22 as presented.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carried. Mark abstained. Great, thank you. Moving to number 5, public address to the board. This is a time when the public may address the board on any item listed on the meeting agenda or on any issue or matter of the town. If you intend on addressing the board at this time, we ask you to do the following. Please identify yourself by name, address, or the company institution you represent. Public address to the board segment will last no longer than 30 minutes. Please make your comments concise and try not to repeat statements made by others. Please address your comments to the board chair. Discussion or debate on any issue may not take place at this time. The chair of the designee may answer questions on procedural matters. Please be cordial and respectful of others. If anyone wishes to be recognized when the board discusses an agenda item, please make the request at this time. The board chair may grant this request. Address comments to the board chair and be concise. We're meeting in person, making this meeting available via Zoom for the convenience of the public. Since we're meeting in person, we'll not be responsible for any technical difficulties, so if you would like to be sure to participate, please try to attend in person. Anyone wishing to address the board? Yes, Mr. Hall.
Hi, Rick Cole, 1643 Ridge Drive. It's really just a comment. I think I'm aware of Eversource's expanded environment and location for their right-of-way for reliability projects. But they're going to cut down a lot of trees on the right-of-way in town, both and Cheshire as well. I know the Conservation Committee doesn't do this because of wetlands, process. So it's just something I thought I'd make sure that the select board was aware of. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Hall. Any comments, Mr. Hutchinson or board?
Yeah, Mr. Chairman.
Mr. Boyle?
Where is this again?
It was the monitor that comes out from Massachusetts. I can forward it on to you because it tells you all the different places where they're going to cut down trees. It's going to be along one of their right-of-ways where the main power line
Okay, so Eversource.
is. Eversource.
Okay, that's all, okay, thank you. Thanks.
Any other comments from the board or Mr. Hutchinson? Yeah, we'll hold on number 6 until Mr. Filio's arrival. Number 7, approval of a livery taxi cab application fee and license form. Mr. Hutchinson?
Yes, we have, for the first time in a long time, a livery application. You'll find the paperwork which we had to revise from something that was in the dusty files. And we have that application completed for, sorry, we have the form. What you have before you is the form. And the first thing that we'd like is your approval of the form as appropriate for a livery license. The first is the application, and then we have the actual license and the fees in the back as well. So that's the first order of business. Well, I guess that's all we need now, because we do have an application pending. So we need an approval of the form to move forward.
So what's the fee for a license?
$10, which is the same as Lennox, I believe. Yes, the last page has the fees. Great Barrington has $25 per vehicle and $10 per driver. Here we have, I don't know that we're expecting any livery services with more than one driver per vehicle, so, or I guess that would be in addition to the 25. But we thought that $10 was commensurate with Lennox, a little bit closer to us, a little bit more comparable.
So livery, so this is somebody that wants a business in Dalton, either for taxi cab or livery, right?
Yes.
Okay.
And this is the location of the person's residence is where they have to get the license, is
Okay.
my understanding.
And what's the term of the license? On the front page, it says period end in April 30th, it just says 20.
It would be for a fiscal year.
Okay, for 1-year term.
Yeah.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Wait, here's a question.
Go ahead, Mr. Wood.
Tom, if you have to have this person's residential address, and the residential address is in another town, how does somebody in another town so it's a residential address, not the address of the business or is located in Dalton, right?
Well, there are both addresses on the application.
All right, okay. I got it.
Okay, is there a motion?
Do you want two of them?
Yeah, let's do 2 motions, yeah.
I make a motion to accept the application for taxi cab livery license.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Next one.
I make a motion to accept the form for taxi cab / livery license.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Great, thank you. The fee, one more for the fee, sorry. The fee is $10, correct, Tom?
That's what we're proposing.
Okay.
I make a motion to accept a $10 fee for the taxi cab / livery license per vehicle.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed, abstention, motion carries. Great, that was easy. Appointment ratifications, effective July 1st, 2022. Mr. Hutchinson.
First, I apologize for not getting these to you until the very end of the fiscal year, but Alyssa did a great job in pulling all of these together. You can see there are 3 sheets, one for staff, one for stipended positions, and one for volunteer positions. So these are drawn up. We ask people who were scheduled to be reappointed whether they want to be reappointed again, and that process has concluded. So this represents all of those who did not say they did not wish to continue their service to the town.
That's great. Now, why don't we start with the staff appointments in the first attachment?
I make a motion to accept the appointments of the FY23 staff appointments ratification.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Hearing none, motion carries. And the next one, the stipend appointment ratifications.
I make a motion to accept the FY23 stipend appointment ratifications.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
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 And Mr. Bowe, is that an aye?
Yeah.
Okay, thank you. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. FY23 volunteer appointment ratifications.
I make a motion to accept the FY23 volunteer appointment ratifications.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to make one comment, please.
Mr. Bishop.
I'd like to point out that Leslie Bassman's here for the Dalton Cultural Council, she's a new volunteer, and we'd like to thank you for doing that.
Excellent. Take a, very nice. Thank you so much. And the volunteers are, that's what makes us hum, move along. So, but thank you so much. Yeah, awesome.
Appreciate it.
Anything we do to help you or, the group, let us know, for sure. Thank you. There's a motion and a second. Any further discussion? All in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. And thank you again. Thank you so much. And while we're doing that, I mentioned it during our last meeting, but if I could take just a moment and just thank Mr. Hall for his years of service with the Green Committee. And so 5 years on the Green Committee, and he's stepping back to focus on some other business goals and things of that nature. But Mr. Hall, thank you for your years of service on that great committee. So
Thank you, Richard.
5 years on the Green Committee is a lifetime.
Yeah.
Well done.
Great, thank you. Let's see, transfers between accounts. 123 for the town manager.
Yes, there were some unexpected expenses with the, as you can see in the form, the general law updates. We maintain a current collection of the annotated laws of Massachusetts, which I've used several times. I found them useful. I will be looking at whether I find them worth thousands of dollars as we go on. It's the sort of thing that once you stop subscribing to the service, all of a sudden you can't necessarily count on the resources at hand. But it's certainly easier than going to the law library, the county law library. So so far, I'm just continuing past practice in having that. But there were a lot of changes, and we got a couple $1,000s more than we were expecting in changes to that over the past year.
Great. Is there a motion for this first one?
Sure. I make a motion to transfer $1,300 from account
123 town manager salaries to 123 town manager expense.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. For the transfer voted in the sum of $1,300, Ken, transfer not requested. Do you want me to fill this out, or do you want to fill it out after?
I'll fill that.
Okay, all right.
Yeah.
Okay, excellent, thank you. That'd be easy. Next one is for let's see. Yeah, 320 vocational educational expense to 152 telephone, internet, email. Mr. Hutchinson?
Yes, we have some new services based on transferring to voice over internet protocol for our telephone, and that involved increased costs as well as the fiber optic network costs associated with that were not budgeted, and we need the money to pay current bills.
Okay. Is there a motion?
Sure. I make a motion to transfer $4,000 from account 320 vocational education expense to account number 152 telephone, internet, email account.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Next is the, let's see, on the agenda, it's 161 town clerk. Yep, 161 town clerk, here we go. Yep.
Yes, this is because our town clerk resigned midterm, and we had some very welcome assistance from a former assistant town clerk who came in and helped fill the gap while we were in the hiring process.
Is there a motion?
Sure. I make a motion to transfer $1,185 from account number 163 Board of Registers salaries to the account number 161 town clerk salaries.
Is there a second? Motion and second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Next is the 423 snow and ice salaries expense.
Yes, although this is the one account which the town is allowed to have a deficit in, it is really a best practice not to carry the deficit, which then is just raised in the next year's tax rate. So we're asking that the deficit be cured with a transfer from vocational education, because we have we have a lot fewer students this year than we had anticipated, so we have an abundance of money in the vocational education account.
That's actually...
Oh, I'm
Yeah,
sorry.
yep.
This was from highway salary.
Yeah,
Well,
thank you.
we don't have a mechanic yet, so even though we are advertising for one. So we still have money in that account, and that's where the extra $23,509 is proposed to come from.
Great. Is there a motion?
Sure. I make a motion to transfer $23,509 from account number 420 highway salaries to account number 423 snow and ice salaries and expenses.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Next is the 919 employee physical exams expense.
As you all know, we had a lot of hiring this year, and all new hires are required to have pre-employment physicals, so we have a baseline for our insurance, and we're missing not terribly much money, so only asking for $450.
Okay, is there a motion?
Sure. I make a motion to transfer $450 from account number 914 group health insurance expense to account number 919 employee physical exams expense.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Great, thank you. Next is the vacation payouts and carryovers.
Similar to last year, there are a number, though fewer than last year, there were only 5 this year. We have the treasurer, the assistant town clerk, the town collector, the accountant, and the assistant treasurer asking to carry over some, or asking either to carry over or pay out their excess vacation time. I can go into detail, or...
Oh, we can go ahead and just take a motion on the packet, if everybody has a chance to review each one, and if there's any questions, do that as a packet. So, okay. Good, Mr. Bishop?
Sure. I make a motion to approve the vacation carryover payout request for the packet we have in front of us.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries. Just give me a moment, I'll sign each one here, Tom.
Great.
And today is the 27th, right?
Thank you very much.
Sure. Next on the agenda is contracts to be signed. Dispatchers, highway, police, and sergeants.
Over the last few months, there have been a number of negotiating sessions with 3 unions and the sergeants as a group, though not a formal union, and several individuals. We've covered the individuals, and prior to this, and we have met in executive session, and the board has approved the contracts for the other unions. So at this point, they can be signed in open session and become public documents, and we can move into the new fiscal year with approved contracts, which is has always been my goal. And even though we're doing it narrowly, I hope that the contracts are all signed now.
This first one is the agreement between the town of Dalton and the Dalton Dispatchers Association. Good signature on that.
Do we need to make a motion on that, or we...
Do we need to make a motion to approve them?
Sure.
I think an open session, yeah.
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 We can do, can't we do them all as a group, or just make one motion and just sign off on them?
Sure.
Okay. Okay, I make a motion to accept the contracts for the dispatchers, highway, police, and sergeants.
Second.
Motion second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. And I just thank Alyssa for putting all this together and these nice places to sign, so 27th.
And very much thank Alyssa for doing the work to make sure that all of the appointments are in order. It's an extraordinary, detailed, and time-consuming job, and the fact that I didn't hear anything going on is a testament to her efficiency. Also her work on the livery application fee and form.
Fantastic. must be Brenda. Did I s- All right, acceptance of the first quarter franchise fee for Dalton Community Cable. Can I have a motion?
I make a motion to accept a franchise fee of $29,858.47 to the Dalton Community Cable Association.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Next is the declaration of the availability of land, and this is otherwise known as the Barden property.
This is the first formal step in the town disposing of the property. The Select Board has to announce that the land is available for disposition. I've prepared a formal declaration and would appreciate the board adopting that declaration.
And I'll go ahead and read that into the record just for public. It says, declaration of availability of town property pursuant to Article 17 of the annual town meeting warrant for May 9th, 2022, transferring the former Barden property being assessors lots 213-4-0, 215-12-0, and 215-26-0 from the tax title custodian to the Select Board for general municipal purposes and also for the purpose of conveyance or lease, subject to an agricultural preservation restriction to the Commonwealth of Massachusetts. The Select Board of the Town of Dalton hereby declares this 27th day of June 2022 the availability for disposition after a win-in bid for an invitation to bid to be advertised of the land cited above, subject to the restriction that the purchaser be actively engaged in farming, together with any further restrictions in the invitation to bid to be advertised. And with that, can I have a motion?
Sure. I make a motion to accept the declaration of the availability of the land known as the Barden property.
Is there a second?
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion?
Yeah.
Mr.
Chairman,
Boyle.
I have a question. Tom, did you draft this?
This was largely the work of town council.
Okay, what I question here is, in conveyance for the purpose of conveyance, which means sale, obviously, or lease. Twice this Board of Selectmen and twice the town meeting voted to sell this property and rejected the proposal to lease it. I think this word lease should be stricken from this document.
Fine with me.
All right. It's done?
Is that a motion, Mr. Bull? We'll take a vote.
Yeah, I move to, can I move to amend, Mr. Chairman? Okay.
Yes,
Mr.
well,
Chairman,
so-
I move to amend
Yeah.
the motion on the floor to read, and also for the purpose of conveyance.
Do you have a process question?
Delete lease.
The reason that's on is because that was Article 17 of the annual town meeting warrant. So the first paragraph is just saying what that article was.
Well,
But
I'm
it does
trying to
say
reflect what the
pursuant to.
vote of the Board of Selectmen and the Board of the town meeting was twice to sell the property in the last 8 years. So I just would like, I'm just trying to keep it on track, that's all.
Well, so the second paragraph,
Yep. But I'm trying not to leave anything to chance here. So
yeah,
that's why I moved it to delete the phrase lease.
Is there a second on that motion?
I'm gonna second, but I'm just also gonna, for discussion purposes, John. I understand what you're saying, but in the second part, it does say, subject to the restrictions that the purchaser be actively engaged in farming together with any further restrictions and an invitation to bid to be advertised. So it does say it in the second one, for
Well,
the purchaser.
perhaps we could say in the second paragraph, the availability for disposition for sale.
yes, okay.
Yeah, because the first paragraph was from the town article, and the second paragraph will clarify that we're selling, we're not leasing,
Yes.
if we add that language.
So Tom, you want me to alter my motion? I'm going to retract my motion.
Okay?
In reading the second paragraph, availability for disposition by sale.
Second that.
Okay?
Yep.
Motion and second. Any discussion on that motion?
No, I totally agree with that.
Okay, all in favor? Aye. Opposed? Abstentions? Motion carries for that correction.
Yep.
And
Thank you.
I'll have a
Thank you for your,
revised version in the
Thank you for your
select board.
patience.
Okay, we'll go back to the main motion of accepting the declaration if we can, as amended.
I make a motion to accept the declaration of availability of the town property known as the Barton property as amended.
Second.
Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye. Opposed, abstentions, motion carries. Once that's corrected, I'll come back to town hall and sign it.
Yeah, this will be available in the select board room for people to sign.
Tom, have we put out proposals yet?
No, this is the first step, that's the second step.
Nope, no, I understand. Hey, can I just ask one question while we're out talking about proposals? I know this is out of order, but have we got any responses yet from our highway request for proposals for engineering?
They're not due till July.
Okay, thank you.
And no, we haven't, because I know that's a different thing. We haven't gotten any, but they're not due for another couple of weeks.
Okay, thank you.
Okay, we're going to just take a step back in our agenda. And the fine guest of the evening sitting out there in the back, Mr. Filio. You want to come down, Tom? You guys want to come down? We'll get a... Sabrina, can I ask you to take a picture with us? A picture for us? Do you have a camera thing? Oh, you got a camera, okay. Okay. Dave, one down, yeah. Yeah.
I almost call it the stage.
Well, tonight we are recognizing Mr. Filio for his 42 years of service to the town of Dalton. And we present this token of our great appreciation to Daniel Filio for his longstanding commitment to the town as Chief of Police, Emergency Management Director, and Chair of the Open Space and Recreation Planning Committee, among many, many other positions during his 42 years of service to the town. So on behalf of the town of Dalton, thank you for your service and congratulations on looking forward to retirement and enjoying those sunny days.
Thank you very much.
Appreciate it.
No, I've said enough over 42 years. Thank you very much. I appreciate the honor. Going to miss working with a lot of people, but it was time. So.
But thank you very much. I've had the opportunity to work with you for a few years, and but I say from the emergency management side, the work you did just kind of closing it up is just phenomenal work. Phenomenal work and left us in great hands.
Yep, thank you very much.
So thank you.
Appreciate it.
Absolutely, yeah.
Hey, this week, we had a very tragic loss. A former employee of the town of Dalton, Jim Cutter Dalton. And I knew Cutter in junior high. That just goes to show how old we were. And he not only did Cutter have a distinguished career with the town of Dalton, as Dan will attest to,
Yes.
he had an outstanding war record in Vietnam. Every medal he ever got, he deserved it more. And just recognize this for the family, that Jimmy was a great town employee. He was very involved in the town. Even up to the week before he died, last week, he lives up the street from me. He stopped at my house. He's always interested in Dalton Piers. And he asked about the fire on Central Avenue, what happened. We really lost a great guy and a great Daltonian. And to the family, I say, everything that everybody said about Jim is richly deserved lost. And I thank you. And Dave, I wasn't trying to intrude on you.
Not at all.
I know you do.
Yeah, very well. Jeff Reardon, professional baseball player, will tell you openly, he made the pros because of Cutter. Because every weekend he would go to the DYC and Jeff would pitch to Cutter
every weekend while he was in college and after, just preparing him for the league. Yeah. So, he's a big miss. Yeah. Once again, thank you.
Thank you so much.
Patty, did anybody?
Called this morning. I gave her a ride the other day. I felt bad for her.
Thank you for getting it together, that's great.
Oh, this is working, yeah? Oh, I did have something.
We'll move on to the, what do we have here? Waste management contract and the additional costs discussion. Mr. Hutchinson?
Yes, we have gotten a proposed contract from Casella. It does, it is higher than we expected.
What a shock.
We don't have the money in the budget for it, partly due to an oversight of mine that we can't use the anticipated revenues to offset the expenses in the budget. They have to, all of the expenses have to be in the budget, and then the revenues offset the appropriation in the tax rate process.
Right.
And I very much apologize for slipping up on that. But this means that at some point soon, we will have to have another one of these special town meetings once we have a final contract with Casella and know the exact numbers that we're over. It's going to be substantial because all of the revenues that we had anticipated are going to have to be made up. But they won't affect the tax rate because we'll have the revenues on the revenue side in order to offset those.
But it could affect the sticker price and the bag sticker price.
If the expenses go over our revenues, we would have to consider that. But again, that's the revenues we've already gotten in July are going to be applied to FY22. This is another aspect we'll have to work on because we won't get the revenues to know how much we have until June of next year.
We don't know how many
So-
people subscribe to actually bought stickers or bags.
It will take some getting familiar with the ebb and flow of things here in order to land more accurately on an appropriation number.
Tom, you were going to look into whether, at one time, I'm sure Sandy will know, we appropriated $28,000 to facilitate the recycling and et cetera, in relation to the transfer station. And I think I asked at one of our meetings if we could use those funds. Is that possible?
Yes.
Oh, so
Yes.
we could use
Yes,
that
it is,
to offset
because we
this
have-
deficit.
Well, one of the things we have to clarify, and I am going to be on the phone with Casella tomorrow. No, I'm sorry, I'm going to be on the phone with our own smaller team tomorrow, and then talking with Casella, I hope, as soon as possible after that. The figures that we got for recycling seem high, and we need to know why that's the case.
You mean the hauling fees?
Yes.
He's the only actor in town, that's why.
Like there's $600 where the trash is only substantially less hauling the trash away.
And it may have to do with the distance to Springfield. We don't know why exactly, but it seems higher than it has been, and we need to do some further work on that. So recycling is definitely going to be a focus of our attention in these costs.
Well, I'm sure you'll have more information. I think Bud's scheduled a meeting for Wednesday evening.
Oh, yes, for the Waste Management and Recycling Committee. Okay.
Thanks.
Any further questions at all?
No.
Okay. Next is the town manager update.
Right. As you know, Much of my time over the last 2 weeks has been working on the town hall renovation project. But in other news, COVID news is trending positively. We are
Something
now
went wrong. Please try again.
finally,
COVID.
we are now finally in the yellow for our 14-day count again, and in the green for our 7-day count. Our 14-day count is 24 cases, just under the 25, and the 7-day count is just 10 cases. So trending very positively there. Finally, it's great news. A union grievance hearing with the Selectboard has been requested. The request is for within the 15 days time frame, so before the next Selectboard meeting on July 11th. And I am proposing a meeting Wednesday at 7. We posted it tentatively to see whether or not people might be able to make that. We can take that up under items not anticipated. We awarded the bid for the police regionalization plan to Municipal Resources, Inc., the same company that did the pay and classification study, though this will be performed by a different team from a different division, focused on police matters and run by a former police chief with 35 years' experience in law enforcement. I met with Renata Solutions regarding a longer-term plan for the town's IT and the expenses. Some of those have been coming from individual departments. I expect to be working on that over the coming year. To assist with waste reduction at the transfer station, we've signed an agreement with CMRK, Inc. out of Northborough, a firm with a mission to, quote, facilitate environmental progress through the ethical and responsible collection of second chance clothing, shoes, and household items. They will collect textile and other household items and pay the town 7 cents per pound. As textiles will soon be prohibited from municipal solid waste, we believe this is a win-win solution for an impending problem.
Tom, a quick question about that. We're just gonna collect these, and they're gonna come and get them in bulk and take away and pass them. There's not gonna be any resale of these products at the transfer station.
They partner with Big Brothers Big Sisters, and I'm not sure exactly how they handle the other end of their business.
Yeah.
But I believe that it is, well, I shouldn't say, because I don't know exactly what they're going to do with it. It could
No,
be.
but they are just gonna pick them up in bulk.
Yeah, they're not going to resell them on our property.
Yeah, that's what I was asking you.
Oh, right. No, they're going to provide a box.
Yeah, and you're just gonna pick it up and pass.
Yeah.
That sounds good.
I gotta clean up my closet.
We are past the due date on the Division Road request for proposals, and with Bud's help, I've answered the 5 questions that came in. We will open the bids at 2 p.m. on Wednesday, July 13th. With one of our recording secretaries having left most of her committees, we are advertising for a replacement. We're also advertising for an accounting assistant, and of course the mechanic for the highway department. Anyone interested in the recording secretary or accounting assistant position should contact Alyssa Machino at extension 202. I held a department head meeting last week, which I hope will be the beginning of a monthly meeting for general updates and coordination. For my part, I thanked everyone for their dedication and conscientious work during the pandemic, noted 18 new hires since a year ago March, went over new grants, and touched on the budget process and website improvements.
Great. Excellent. Any questions for Mr. Hutchinson? Nope. Nope. Awesome. Great update. Thank you. Future agenda items. Anyone? Okay, hearing none. Items not anticipated 48 hours before the meeting. Mr. Hutchinson mentioned that step 3 grievance. He and I chatted earlier today, and we're recommending if the board's available to have it this Wednesday at 7 PM.
This
You mean in
Wednesday?
2 days?
Yep, we tentatively posted it tonight, so
I can say about that, we got that trash thing.
at 5:30.
Yeah.
Yeah, then we should be, wrap that up by 7. Well,
Okay.
the alternative dates are July 6th and 7th.
That's fine.
Okay.
What time on Wednesday?
7?
Okay.
Where?
Senior Center.
Senior Center? Senior Center? Yeah. It should be relatively quick, I think, but
I've heard those words.
there's no other business on the agenda for that night, right? Just that? Okay.
Trust me, right?
We could have it in the,
Yeah.
oh, yeah, well, it's posted for the senior center.
Yes.
Okay,
Okay,
that's all right.
great. Any other items not anticipated 48 hours before tonight? Hearing none. Remarks of the Select Board.
I'd like just to congratulate the boys lacrosse team for the state championship.
Yeah.
I'm
Big
sorry,
win.
Tom, they beat up your own home.
Yeah, beat up Sandwich.
Hey, it was
Yeah.
a win-win for me. I couldn't lose.
That's right.
That's right. Any other remarks of the Select Board? Okay, hearing none. Announcements. Let's see, the tax collector, assessors, health agent, and building inspector have moved from Town Hall across the street to the old Berkshire Bank building at 488 Main Street. We encourage you to use the drop boxes located outside of Town Hall for any payments, or you still can stop over to their new location. New car permits and bag stickers are available at the transfer station. Residents will be available to use up their old bags and will be able to buy car permits and bag stickers both by check at the transfer station and on the town's website. Following committees have vacancies and are looking for volunteers: the ADA Committee, the Beautification Commission, the Conservation Commission, Dalton Cable Advisory Committee, Dalton Green Committee, Dalton Redevelopment Authority, Finance Committee, Stormwater Management Commission, and the Waste Management and Recycle Committee. If interested, please reach out to the Town Manager's Office by calling 413-684-6111, extension 202. And our next meeting is scheduled to take place on Monday, July 11th. I'm sorry, we'll change that. Nope, that's not a public, that's executive session anyways.
Right, yeah.
So our next open session is Monday, July 11th, at 7 PM at the Senior Center with an option for remote participation. And we'll go ahead, and if I could take a motion to adjourn, so adjourn this meeting and reconvene at 7 PM for the special town meeting. Motion is second, any discussion? Hearing none, all in favor? Aye. Great, thank you, Dalton. And we'll see you at 7 o'clock.
Recording stopped.
Yeah, got right through everything.
Tell Juliana, I got tickets.
Yeah. While we're waiting until 7 o'clock, if anybody has any questions for us at all, happy to chat or whatnot, so, yeah.
Introducing the stage to my right, your left, we'll start with Heather Hunt, our town clerk. We have John Boyle, Mark Stroud, Robert Bishop as members of the Select Board. We have Joe Diver, who is the chair. To my left, we have William Drosheen, he's chair of the Finance Committee. And we have Jeff Noble, who is with him as well. First thing, you know the procedures. In the event you want to address the meeting, please raise your hand to be identified. Please identify yourself by name and address. And please only one person speaking at a time. This meeting is being, I think, recorded. This meeting is being recorded and taped. And Tom Hutchison is now joining us on the stage as our town manager. The first item we always deal with on the agenda is I would entertain a motion to waive the formal reading of the warrant, meaning I don't have to read the entire warrant to you right now. Can I have such a, is there okay, moved and seconded, any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Thank you. For the record, I would further note that this warrant was signed on June 6, 2022. bylaws of the town of Dalton require it be posted at least 14 days prior to today's date, and I see the town constable, Deanna Straub, has posted it on June 7th at Dewey's Public House, Dalton Restaurant, Greenwich Variety Convenience, the U.S. Post Office, Dave's Country Corner, and the Town Hall Bulletin Board. Article 1, to see if the town will amend the vote taken under Article 3 at the annual town meeting of May 2nd, 2022, to increase or reduce the sums of money raised and appropriated for one or more departments for the fiscal year beginning July 1, 2022, or to take any other action in relation thereto. Mr. Groshane.
I move that the town amend the vote taken under Article 3 at the annual town meeting of May 2nd, 2022 by raising an additional $8,643 for account 710 to fund sewer
And drain debt expenses.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion?
Yeah, I'd like to make an amendment to that motion.
Mr. Dimmer.
Just by adding at the end of debt expenses and an additional $4,000 for town trash disposal expenses.
And for the record, that motion has been made in writing. I do have a copy here in front of me. Is that motion seconded?
I'll second it.
The motion has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on the motion to amend? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by saying no. So now we go back to the original article as amended. Is there any discussion? Hearing none, seeing none. Oops, I'm sorry.
Hi, Tony. William Drosine, 877 South Street, Dalton. When it comes down to this, the trash, what exactly does this cover, roughly?
This covers additional unanticipated expenses for removing the town's trash based on a recent contract proposal. And who's that? That's with Casella? Mr.
Yes.
Hutchison?
This is not anything to do with the transfer station. This is the dumpsters at the town hall, senior center, garage, and park, Pine Road Park.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Any further discussion? Yes.
I'm not sure if we should add the department in that motion.
Which department?
192.
It would be a building maintenance 192. That could be a friendly amendment.
Well, that's a motion to amend. I assume, is there a second to that motion to amend?
So moved.
Thank you. Well,
Second.
no, you can't second your own motion. Okay, so there's another motion on the floor that's been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion on that motion? Yes.
138 Sunnyside Drive. What is the amount of increase? Is it included in an 8643, or is there an additional amount for this new whatever, for the waste? Sure. I just wanted to know if that was included in 8,643, or is there an additional amount to this article?
So are you asking if the $4,000 increase is included in that $8,000 or?
See, I didn't understand, Mr. Diver, I'm sorry, but I didn't hear that amount. So would you give us the total amount now for this article?
Sure.
Well, let me just tell you what the revised text of the motion was as presented to me. I move that the town amend the vote taken under Article 3 at the annual town meeting of May 2nd, 2022 by raising an additional $8,643 for account number 710 to fund sewer and drain debt expenses and an additional $4,000 for town trash disposal expenses. And it's now been moved that we add to account 192.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Any further discussion? So hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor of the motion to amend the article signify by saying aye. Aye. All opposed by saying no. Thank you. So now we're back to the original article as amended and amended. Is there any further discussion on Article 1? Mr. Droshine.
I just want to answer your question, Gene. The total amount would be $12,643. It's adding the two together.
Any further discussion? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor of Article 1 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by saying no. Passes unanimously. Thank you. Article 2, I'm going to waive reading of Article 2. It deals with the funding for the town hall renovations. Mr. Droshine.
I move that the town pass over this article.
Second.
It's been moved and seconded to pass on this article. That is not a debatable motion. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by saying no. Thank you. Article 3, to see if the town will raise and appropriate, transfer from available funds, or otherwise provide a sum of money to cure a deficit in the miscellaneous grants account or to take any other action in relation thereto. Mr. Droshine.
I move that the town transfer $2,066 from free cash to cure the deficit in the miscellaneous grants account of $1,436 from free cash for the E911 grant and $630 from free cash for the coronavirus emergency supplement funding program. Funding.
Second.
Article 3 has been moved and seconded. Is there any discussion? Or motions to amend? Hearing none, seeing none, all those in favor of Article 3 signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Opposed by saying no. Passes. Thank you. Mr. Droshine.
I move that we adjourn.
Second.
All those in favor signify by saying aye. Aye. Opposed by saying no. Thank you very much. Thank you for your attendance, ladies and gentlemen.
Yeah, I will.
Have a good summer.
It's over.